I am going to directly address the allegation that has been made against me. I'm going to address the claims. The things that she said about me is only half truth. Yes, I absolutely abhor and hate Islam. However, Islamophobia is defined as the hatred of Muslims, not necessarily the hatred of Islam itself as a religion. And plus, phobia is an irrational fear. An irrational fear. Why is it rational to hate Islam? First of all, Islam actually calls for violence against Jews and Christians in Surah 9 verse 29, At-Taba ayat 29, which basically is a call to fight those who do not believe in Allah. Fight those who believe not in Allah nor in the last day, nor consider forbidden what Allah and His Messenger have made forbidden. And basically, until the end, it is to call for subjugation of Jews and Christians. This is called dimitude, and to enforce taxation on them on the basis of religion. Taxation is theft. Furthermore, she claims that I support genocide in Gaza. No, I do not. Not only is there not a genocide to begin with, even if we counted genocide as head counts, the number of people who die, I do not have any empathy for Islamists, for those who believe that Islam should be enforced on the population. I do not feel any sympathy for those kinds of people. Why should I feel sympathy for those who hate Jews, who believe that Islam should be enforced on the population? Let that question sink in. Why? They want me dead. They want to enforce their religion upon me. 71% of the Palestinian population, according to the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research, evidently support the October 7th massacre. That means 71% of the Palestinian population support rape, murder, and the murdering of children, largely innocent Israelis. Why should I feel sympathy for those subhuman people? It is not human to support rape and murder. Now, as for that claim that I called Palestinian people terrorist, Palestinian is a political ideology, not an ethnic group. Palestinians are just simply Arabs. They are Arabs whose ancestors, 1,400 years ago, began to conquer the Levant under the Rashidun Caliphate and began to oppress the Jewish people. Why should I consider that identity to be okay? Why should I even begin to condone of such identity when the entire Palestinian national identity is based on their hatred of Jews? Answer me the question, what was bothering them on the 1920s? What was bothering them in the 1930s? In one day in 1929 in Hebron, they massacred over 50 Jews. Over 510 Jewish men, women, and children were killed in the Arab Revolt between 1936 and 38. What was bothering them? Why should I feel any sympathy for the Palestinians when they are a political movement? And when your national identity is denied if you even remotely feel for the Jews, Mossab Hassan Yusuf believes in coexistence, but because he supports Israel, he supports the Jewish people, the Palestinians want him dead. In fact, he, the son of the co-founder of Hamas, finds absolutely zero difference between Palestinians and Hamas. And he knows more than the retards who claim to know more. And why is it that almost every pro-Palestinian is an anti-Semite who believes in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories like Jews control the world and all that rubbish? Now, as to counter your claim that I said that Muhammad is a pedophile, yes, he was. In Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, which is in one of the most reliable hadiths in the hadith record, Muhammad, may peace be upon him, married a 6-year-old girl. Who was that 6-year-old girl? Her name was Aisha. In Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, it is narrated by Aisha herself that she was married by Muhammad when she was 6 and had sex when she was 9. Also, consummation, that's how it's referred to in the hadith. So basically, Muhammad had sexual intercourse with a 9-year-old girl. Now, a lot of you are going to interject. It was normal back then. Well, if that's your excuse and justification for pedophilia, you can go fuck yourself. Because having sex with a 9-year-old girl is pedophilia and is by no means justified nor ever okay. Now, furthermore, if you believe that it is okay, back then, that morality changes, I have an even better argument. Why did Allah allow it back then? Why did Allah, in fact, tell Muhammad to marry Aisha when she was 6? And why did Allah permit and not stop Muhammad from having sex with her? The Prophet, who is supposed to be the best example for all humankind at all times. So your time excuse does not hold up. Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old girl. That is evil. That is bad. Now, furthermore, to counter the claim that I said that you're not a Muslim, let's dig in a little. Let's actually look at what the Quran says. You say that you're not a terrorist. You do not support terrorism. Right, Logy? Well, guess what the fuck that means? That means you're not a Muslim. Now, let's actually look into it. Surah An-Nisa, Ayat 34. Or Surah 4, verse 34. Which is a verse that basically claims whoever does not basically it says that you will not be considered a true believer until you find yourself with no disputes with what Muhammad says and bow down in full submission. The verse is saying that you're not a Muslim. Are you going to get offended at the Quran? At the Quran specifically saying you're not a Muslim? And you're going to say not all Muslims are terrorists or extremists? Sure. Let's say you're a moderate Muslim. You're a moderate Muslim. You are not an extremist. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I would have been cool with that if you just coexisted, didn't ban me. But no, you chose to take the retarded way. And instead you choose to slander and lie about me. In fact, you act as if some of the things that I've said are bad, even though they're actually logically grounded. Which is retarded. Furthermore, you say that not all Muslims are terrorists and extremists. Okay, fine. Not all Muslims are terrorist extremists. I will then consider non-Kahanist Jews to be Jews, and I'll say, well, I hate Islamists. In fact, the majority of the time I'm targeting Islamists, not actually moderate Muslims. I deeply hate Islamists. I deeply hate anyone who believes in enforcing Sharia. I want them out. Why? Because they want to oppress millions of people. Now, Logy, that's my counter arguments to your claims. That's what I have to say. Don't cower away and lie about me, or say this shit without any fucking context whatsoever. Islamophobia. I have actual concerns, and you disregard them because you care more about your feelings than the lives of actual human beings. Which is precisely why I've become a Kahanist. Why I think Mir Kahane was right. Because people like you compulsively promote antisemitism while claiming it's perfectly moderate and okay. I just have zero reason to tolerate that kind of bullshit. Now, that's all I have to say.
People stamp on you and trample on you and stomp on you. That's not the Jewish way. There is no mitzvah to be stepped upon. Nothing good came out of Auschwitz. Nothing good. It's better to be a winner than to be a loser. It's better to live than die. And it's better to have a Jewish state that is hated by the whole world than an Auschwitz that's loved by it. I know that.
Well, haven't you said that those who don't leave will be slaughtered?
If you can show me where I said that, I will pay your ticket back and forth to Israel, and you can stay at the King David Hotel and the wing which Begin didn't blow up.
And if you think that that's not nice, then get out of this world, because you're in the wrong one.